And gentlemen, welcome on into another edition of our Artist Spotlight. The man in the chair, it turns out, can't count. This is actually Artist Spotlight number 11. I found that out today when I was editing videos. So if you're keeping up, I was behind by one. Before we get into our 11th interview, which we are very excited about, let me introduce the guys from the man cave. His enemies are still looking for him in the ocean. He's searching for that Mama Wana. Halo K, the Mama Wana god.
Shit, I found the Mama Wana yesterday. God, what's going on, people?
Little Super Bowl Mama Wana party. You know Brooklyn in the house. Big Chase. What's going on?
What's going on, baby? Listen, man, we the Super Bowl party was definitely Mama wanted out. Some people will still have a hangover after the hangover.
Still recovering myself, and I of course am your man in the chair, Aaron. Struggling a little today, but we're making do with it. So as I said, we are doing our 11th Artist Spotlight. We're going to bring in our guests in a second. But I just wanted to remind you, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Without further ado, I know it's getting easier every time I do it, surprisingly, considering how hungover I am.
Guys are or something, man. Jeez.
So without further ado, let me bring in our guest, Sebastian A. Jones with Stranger Comics. Had to make sure I get the A in there.
Thank
you, Aaron. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Did you name? Are you really Aaron or is it after PMP?
No. My name is Aaron, but everybody calls me Aaron.
I'm Sebastian Jones, but some other idiot has Sebastian Jones too. So I was like, do I go with Seb Jones or do I become really obnoxious and throw the A in the middle? All right,
it
is. You know,
that's how it goes, man.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, thank you for coming. Yeah, thank you for coming, man. So, so those who don't know, Sebastian A. Jones is with Stranger Comics. One of the feature titles is the Niobe comic. If you haven't seen it, you need to go cop it. Go cop all of those covers. They're absolutely great covers, and there's a whole bunch of titles and whatnot. So, Sebastian, we usually start at the beginning. How did you get involved in the comics and in the writing and the whole thing?
In the beginning, I feel like I'm inside the actor studio. I went to high school. Basically, I moved here when I was about 18.
Okay.
And I grew up in England, and I'm 50 this year. Jesus. And so back then I was in the boarding house, right? And I was creating these fantasy worlds, playing D&D, live action role playing, uber geeky stuff. And I was creating this fantasy world. I was dealing with a lot of kind of bullying, being mixed in a very kind of small Englishy setting. And I created this world. I created this character, Niobe, who would kind of essentially take on all of my vulnerabilities and my inhibitions and also my wrath kind of onto her winged shoulders.
Okay.
As I kind of grew, she grew with me. And then I moved to America and I ran a record label for about 10 years or so. I put out historical jazz, blues, old funk, stanky funk, rare soul, break beats, all the good shit.
Okay.
And, good record business stories for sure. You know, and so yesterday I was so fucked up with the passing of True Goy. I couldn't even focus on what was there was a game on apparently. I don't know. So rest in peace to Dave. That was such a De La Soul was such an integral part of who I was as a young teenage boy growing into a man, and so really threw me. I just still fucked up today, to be honest about it. So I had a record label, and during that time I was playing more D&D, and I was creating these worlds, and the world I was creating got bigger. And after I wound down the record label, essentially I had this idea, right? I had this idea for the world, this character, and I thought, I don't want to run another company again. Let me see if I can pitch comic companies and just see if I can just write stories in this fantasy world of Asunda with Niobe the lead, you know, essentially face of the franchise. And to be real with you, it was essentially every time I was going to meet with a publishing company, the majority of them were like, "Oh, this would look good during our Black History Month." And
this got it.
So I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to start another fucking company to protect the integrity and the spirit of Niobe and her vulnerability from some of these very vapid vipers that were just hollow corporate motherfuckers." So basically that was Stranger Comics. I was like, oh, thank you to those guys. Shout out to all those guys. Without you, there wouldn't be Stranger Comics. So I started Stranger Comics, and originally I had this idea for a storyline that was born from being inspired by old Kurosawa movies, Sergio Leone movies. I was just a junkie for that shit. And excuse the swearing.
No.
The man cave. It's
man cave.
Caleb is completely known for cursing. Like it's part of our promo. So
if you don't curse, I don't trust you. That's the way you gotta let a fuck every once in a while out.
I like to let a fuck every once in a while out. You know?
I gotta let it out. You know what I mean?
There's no one to receive. So basically, I had this idea that when you're introducing, the goal was essentially to go, I'm sitting on an idea of how to do a mini Marvel universe of fantasy. So how to do a shared connected fantasy universe. And so I try to then go, okay, let me see if I can get investors. And everyone I would meet, they would go, oh, you're doing fantasy and comics. That doesn't sell. Look at the track record of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Look at, oh, you're doing primarily Black comics. That doesn't sell enough. Oh, you're doing female is the face and lead of your whole franchise. That doesn't sell enough. And I'm going, yeah, I'm doing all three of that shit.
Yeah.
And so everyone just ran. And so essentially, I just funded it. You know, I took, it was a real strain on my family because it was very financially difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to compromise on the quality of the stories I was telling, art-wise, production-wise, and all those types of things. Because and I'll segue a little bit for a second. I believe if someone's going to spend or risk $4 on a comic, that they're potentially going to risk it on your comic as opposed to what they used to, Spider-Man, the Hulk, whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's my responsibility, to quote Spider, to deliver you you're taking a chance on me with your hard-earned $4. I've got to deliver you, put my soul into this shit so you can appreciate your risk. And so anyway, so coming back around to this one storyline, I was going through some real hard times as a man and as a person that struggles with the concept of vengeance to redemption, salvation, second chances, forgiveness. If we're easy to condemn those online, can we forgive ourselves? Are we all right with that? You know, all these various things that I think are just a motherfucker. So I came up with this book called The Untamed, right? That's where essentially it all begins. And I'll give you the pitch and then I'll shut up because I know I've rambled. All right.
Pitch it. No, pitch it, please. Please pitch it.
You're not rambling.
You're not rambling at all. Yeah. Keep going.
All right, so here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you damn your family to save the world? This is a struggle man who's stuck in purgatory.
Okay.
After 10 years, the devil comes along. He says, I'll give you 7 days to reap the 7 souls that murdered you and your family. He says, sign me up. He takes a drifter's return to a one-horse town in a huge world. As his memory comes back in broken shards, he realizes when he was alive, he was a bad man and maybe he deserved to die. But now he's on a path to save his family. On his path of vengeance to save their soul, he meets a little elven girl called Niobe. And she reminds him of how old his murdered daughter would have been. Give this man a second chance. To be a good man or a father, he only has 7 days. The kicker is, what if she's one of the 7 souls he has to collect?
Ooh, I like it.
What if the devil set the whole thing up just to find her? Would you damn your family to save the world? Because if Niobe can stay alive in the Untamed, maybe she'll grow up to become our world's Luke Skywalker, the face of our whole franchise.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it. I like it.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to strangercomics.com right now.
And I want the hardcover. I want that hardcover.
We got discount bundle deals, Black History Month, bundle set deals, folks. We got all the hardcovers. So then Niobe spins off, right? Niobe spins off. Now, just to you can kind of see, my OG concept cover artist is actually Hyung, who is the principal cover artist of The Last of Us. I was fucking with this dude when he was when he was in college. Before he even left college. And then Peter Gergting, who does Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, spent 10 years painting this book to kind of give you a quick visual on that Kurosawa kind of vibe, right?
Wow.
The artwork is sensational.
You can see the love that you have with the level of quality that you put into that book. And it shows. Believe me, you can see.
Listen, I won't lie to you. I thought the inside was probably going to be black and white. I just look like, okay.
I've seen
open it up. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
So I'll read you a passage from this. All right, this is from this page where he essentially finds his wife and child's grave, and it says, "It's a special moment when you bleed a man. A bond is formed, just you and him. To break his body, to gut his joy, but what of his spirit?"
It sounds like you did okay.
Yeah, it does sound like it. It does sound, it's my kind of violence, man. That's what I like.
I love the artwork.
That's dope.
The artwork is ridiculously sick.
I love, and I think for me, because I love the fact that the language seems more poetic than just straight dialogue and whatnot.
Yes. It's not like, okay, one person. Like he's talking to himself and the third person, and also he's talking to himself in a more sophisticated way than he's talking to a person in the comic. Because you know how normal bubble comics is like, okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, you'll go. No, but he's talking to himself. And he's taking it to a sophisticated level where he understands, and when he talks to somebody else, it's probably way different.
Yeah,
especially when talking to Doug.
Yeah.
So I've, like I said, I have a long list of reading that I have to do.
This is pumped up a little bit, right?
Yeah. This is getting. But I want that hardcover. I didn't see that. I saw the other 2 Niobe hardcovers. But I didn't see that Untamed one because I love collecting like massive books for some weird reason.
We got 6 of these bad boys. Like
and it's full color on the inside on all of them. It's all color. Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Yeah.
So then Niobe spins off. Niobe, I wrote this one with the actress that played Rue in the Hunger Games, Amanda Stenberg, who is now going to be the acolyte in the new Star Wars franchise. And we didn't realize it at the time, but this was the trade paperback version.
Yes, I have that.
And this is also by Hyung, the cover from The Last of Us artist, did the cover of this. Wow. And when we wrote this, we didn't know at the time, this became the first nationally distributed comic book with a Black female author, artist, and hero in the history of entertainment, with Ashley A. Woods doing the interiors to kind of give you like a little glimpse into how pretty that is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
and the hardcovers are, they are very.
Listen,
the artwork is.
Yeah, listen,
phenomenal.
I'm almost strictly in this industry for the artwork. I'm an artwork nut. I love print, so I'm automatically sold when I see great artwork. and that's definitely great artwork.
Well, I'll just give you a bit of a whiz bang. So Niobe is a Beauty and the Beast love story, threaded with murder and mystery that leads to all-out war. But it's also about a young half-elven girl returning to her ancestors to find her faith.
Okay.
And then as she grows from Niobe Shear's life, she goes to Niobe Shear's death, where Niobe becomes a badass bounty hunter hunting down sex traffickers and slave traders to reflect our own brown girls that get abducted. She becomes an icon.
Nice. No, that is sick.
No, that is definitely sick.
I love
like, which path is she going to follow of her spirit? This side or this side?
Got you.
Because then I'm going to have Niobe Shear's spirit, and I'll finish with Niobe Shear's God, as she combines her faith and her fighting, and raises an army against the devil, her father, the Untamed.
Okay, I love the connectivity that you're doing. You tied everything. You tied everything, and the way you speak about it with the passion that you have, and doing this from the bottom up, and being told the hard no's, and knowing that you've sat in those meetings, you've done with all these things, and they're still telling you the hard no's, and you still have the balls to put it out by yourself and put it on your shoulders, brother. I commend you 110% for that, man. And these stories that you're telling and what I'm hearing is top notch in my book.
Yeah, you know, it's hard because a lot of times when we have our own dreams and stuff, you know, we get to a certain point and then we're ready to give it to public consumption, and we run into people that are professionals in the industry. And you know, one thing I always tell people is you have to be aware of people that have had some type of success and now they're trying to get back, because they will sacrifice you and they will sacrifice your dream. You have, if you believe in it and you know that your feet are grounded, then you have to just maintain and, you know, stay the course. Don't be dissuaded by people who are telling you that you can't do it and this way. Listen, at the very beginning of all of this entire industry, somebody told somebody that this thing would never make money, and look where we are today. So it's got to start someplace, and you might be the first step into that and whatnot. So we don't, listen, we can't really just, say that we support you enough. We love the whole idea. I remember now I got the Niobe book, I want to say about a year ago.
We went to the con, yeah.
Yeah, and at the time, you know, I had no idea what it was. I just like I said, I'm in for the artwork. So when I saw the cover, I'm like, okay, I need to grab this. I need to have this in my collection. This looks like something I want to keep. So it's ironic that we now come full circle back to you now with this. But no, I just think that this is dope. So how much I guess how long has this whole concept been in a published form and out to the public? Like, how long has it been out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we dropped the very first issue of the Untamed in 2009. So if you're a collector out there, you want to get the OG printing, the Untamed 2009, come to our online StrangerCon March 18th. We drop our new Kickstarter. I'll have some of them shits ready for you. But 2009, bro, is when we had the first. We shared like a booth at San Diego Comic-Con with like 9 or 10 other publishers. Like we were like I don't know, I knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was around 2009, and then we got into some shit with a publisher that we had to duck into the lab for a little bit, and then I released some kids books during that time. I did a series of kids books called the I Am Book series.
Yes.
With Garcelle Beauvais, Jamie Foxx show actress, and we did I Am Mixed to celebrate all cultures. It's a really bad word apparently, which is adorable. I love it. And then I'm Living in Two Homes for kids that deal with separation, divorce. I'm Awesome to touch on adoption and bullying. So I did that in the public while I was just tinkering away in the lab, building all this shit. And then 2015, we had the hardcover of the Untamed done. Squashed all that other bullshit, and then and then we dropped the first issue of Niobe, and it just was suddenly worldwide press because of Amanda's involvement, because she had just done a video on cultural appropriation.
Yes.
Back around then, and Viola Davis ended up doing the forward and the hardcover, and it just kind of exploded from there. And you guys might have seen this. I'm actually having dinner with her a little bit later. Did you guys see The Woman King? Or
yes.
Okay. So the actress Thuso Mbedu, the daughter of Viola, from Underground, she was nominated for Underground Railroad, which was hauntingly beautiful. So she and I write in the new Niobe comic.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the artwork on it is crazy. It's crazy.
All I need to hear. I'm sold.
Wait. So you're saying that you're gonna have dinner with Viola?
No, not Thuso. Thuso and
Thuso. Wait. So the daughter from the movie King. I want to ask a question, but I know you probably can't say anything. Since you're having dinner with this very good actress, because I love that. She did a phenomenal job in that movie. So, could we be expecting something big soon?
I hope so. I can't really think.
Okay, that sounds like
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Comic for sure. The comic's announced. The comic is announced.
Yes.
And that's the thing too. It's interesting. Is I would say a lot of folks that when I got into comics, you kind of want to honor the comic medium in the most beautiful way you can, right? So a lot of times you see a lot of announcements go on. A lot of people talk a lot of shit online. There's a lot of, showing off a bit. I was going to say flossing, and then kind of reveals my age. Right? But it's like, if I understand it, because you kind of pour all there's a lot of risk involved and a lot of, sweat, blood, and tears and all that kind of stuff involved. But I always say this: if you make a comic book and it never becomes it, let's say you get an option, let's say it becomes on TV and you're not happy with it. If you're at your convention or you're at the bookstore or whatever, and someone, let's say, has never heard of you because you're independent, it's not like Spider-Man or a big movie where I go, oh, it's a hit or miss, but I'll still buy Spidey. If you've got your comic that 99.9% of people haven't heard about, and the movie or the TV show comes out and it sucks, that person's going to walk past your booth or the shop and go, oh, that's that so-and-so. I saw that shit. It was terrible. So we put so much emphasis on needing the validation of an announcement or something Hollywood or movie or something to validate our comic form medium, which is a sad reality to me. And there's not enough kind of emphasis on the love of the craft of the storytelling. Because now it's like, not to sound like a dick or anything, but I was speaking to a kid recently, a teenager, and I was talking about the state of music, and she's like, music isn't about music, it's just a popularity contest. It's just about who has the most amount of likes. And to me, that kind of can translate across why do a lot of people get into comics to make TV, and no knock on them, because everyone needs to eat, right? But why are we getting into comics? To make movies or TV? You might as well just play the lottery. You got a better shot at it and less risk.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think in nowadays, unfortunately, the bad part about social media is she's not actually wrong, because now everybody and their mother's just doing something just to be seen, to get another like, to everybody wants to be monetized on YouTube, and they'll do anything that they can find to do it. The fact that we have all of these dangerous challenges where people are pouring gas on themselves and drinking stuff that can kill you just so that somebody else will view it and validate it with a like, is an unfortunate place that we're in today. But I'm just a firm believer that the people that are passionate about what they do put in the time necessary, that they will stand out beyond these other people. because
go for it. Sorry.
Yeah, so because it's easy for people to, there's an L saying, it's only so long fake thugs can pretend, and it's the truth in any medium, because you can go there and pretend like you're in this for the art and the craft, but once it comes to fruition, once it really comes out and it pops up out of the water, people that are into this thing and love it are going to see it for what it is. You're not going to be able to hide.
I think you don't want your art being told not the way you want your things done right. I can sense that of you. You don't want things done half-assed. That's why you did it yourself, because you were like, no, I wanted my story to be told the way I want to tell it and the way I want to do it. So relinquishing or doing anything besides that doesn't fit your character. To me, it seems that way.
Thank you, and 100% right. But back then, you see, it was like you can kind of play. I never knock anyone. You never know what they're going through and what they need to do. It's just because I wrestle with, when people ask me what's the hardest thing about making comics, and I say it's time. It's not necessarily just time I'm spending away from my family. It's time that they're spending away from me while I get to work on my dream. So if I don't work on my dream with full feeling attached and full passion and emphasis and no quit, then I'm dishonoring the time that they're allowing me to have while they're working, right? So it's and coming back to this thing earlier, and I'll quote something I wrote like a real obnoxious dickhead. So in this book, Niobe Dura, just to kind of drop that little homage with the free. So I say in this book, a leader is not measured in followers, but in the demons they have the courage to face. So basically saying, just because you have shitloads of followers on Instagram, don't make you a fucking leader.
Exactly.
True. Exactly. Now that's a quote that I'm going to snippet. I'm using that one. I am definitely using that one. Keeping that one on my quotes of the day.
So I just realized that we got almost 28 minutes in, and we haven't put up any of the.
Look at that!
So let me go ahead. And,
I am.
That's what happens when you're having good conversation. You know what I mean? You get lost in everything. Let me restart this really quick. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this play through. Obviously, I know you've been talking to us about all the covers and a lot of the story. If there's anything in particular you want to stop and talk about, I just want the people to be able to get another closer look at the work and all that stuff. So if there's anything you want to stop and talk about,
sure. Yeah, the last one obviously is an homage to Lauryn Hill. We do, me being a huge hip hop head and music head in general, we do a lot of amazing homage covers to some of my faves. So that's the Lauryn Hill. That's by Raheem Milton on the left, Ashley Straker, the one of Amanda as Niobe on the right. That was from a art competition we did, the one on the right, and he was one of the winners.
Wow. That's dope.
God, I'm loving these covers, man.
The one on the left is from a new title that we're dropping called Tales of Asunda. We do online conventions we did this during the pandemic, where I sit in front of a computer like a madman for 10 or 11 hours, have guests on, we do online exclusives. That's the new one. That's the kind of balanced faith and fighting, the sword in one hand and the symbol of her goddess in the other, Tales of Asunda. But issue 1 is dropping through Diamond in all stores June 1st.
Okay.
The one on the right.
Put that on your calendar, June 1st.
Oh, June some shit or other. But yeah, June 1st, go in and bug them. That shit. Pre-order. Tell your comic shops too, because they're started to do all the reorders now on all our trade paperbacks.
Okay.
So, and then what I'm going to do, folks, is if you go into your comic shop and you take a picture of holding up a comic in the comic shop, tag us, tag the store, you'll enter a raffle, and I'll send you a bunch of free shit that you might win.
Oh wow! You can't beat that.
Wow!
You can't beat that with the people.
Support your local comic shop. Support your indies like what we do. There's it's a big deal that indies also then become educated on the stories, right? Because it's very, coming back to the big top of the conversation, it's like if you're faced with a whole new world, part of you're like, I want to get into a whole new world. I've got this and this and this shit to read. It's a whole world. If I like one, I'm gonna have to get the rest. So there's an education process into going, is this worth my $4 entry into a massive world? And in our case, fuck yes, jump into this. You're in on, you know. So on the right is a image. I called it Fight Song, and I named it after a Charles Mingus jazz track called the Haitian Fight Songs, legendary. They dogged it in the movie Jerry Maguire, so fuck that movie. But that's Haitian Fight Song, and Dura, the chick with the butterfly wings, that's the creator of the world of Asunda, that character there.
Oh, okay.
And that was modeled after a friend of mine, a singer out in South Africa named Filala. And the kid, the young Niobe in there, is modeled after the youngest ever runway model at New York Fashion Week, Soleil West. So I've got these amazing people that are just part of the
artist, the person, the musician you took the picture is Fela or Felala?
No, Filala, not Fela. Yeah, Filala. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because my family's all a bunch of musicians.
Oh
shit!
Shit!
So Fela, my father used to play it a lot back in when we were at home. He used to have records and play it a lot.
That's fucking mind blowing.
My uncle was very big in the musician. My father, all four of his brothers were all musicians. I'm the only person that came out of comic book nerd. It's big on sports. Yeah.
That's awesome though. So yeah, Tales of Asunda, that's actually the one on the left is young Waso and DUSU, and that comes out of this storyline, the DUSU book. This story is a story of a man, the spirit of the jaguar deep within his soul. And when the ancient spirit of the wolf comes hunting him, he has to risk unleashing his own inner beast and risk destroying the tribe he loves just to save them. That's when they're younger, Tales of Asunda and Waso DUSU from this big DUSU book here, and I'll show you a couple of snaps. And that's Shay Heaven. She's one of our amazing cosplayers, obviously doing a mashup with Aaliyah's Queen of the Damned.
I think we met her at Comic-Con when we bought the Niobe book. She was in full. She was in full.
Oh no, you met Sunflower Samurai. You met a different cosplayer.
It's possible. Yes. I think we met somebody who was doing cosplay.
In New York, yeah, that was Sunflower Samurai. And then just pop this real quick. There you go. Hang
on, let me put this up. There you go.
So there you go. That's from that's Waso DUSU. We spent 7 years painting this book.
Wow. Dude, you can tell the quality of every frame on that book is freaking ridiculous.
It's like the
Dude, I need a poster of that. I need a poster of that.
It's like without reading it, you can tell the pictures are telling you such a good story without any of the words. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the type of artwork that's like tough to find sometimes. You know?
So our process is so when I write the story, I write them kind of I write each scene, I write the dialogue. I'm a big dialogue dude, and then as time's ticked on, and we've done more and more. So my CCO and art director, I met him playing live action role playing, just being a fucking nerd. He essentially does all the layouts before it gets to our finishing artist. So he and I go back and forth until I'm a happy camper, and then we send it to our layout artist, who then, you know, essentially then, whether it's a painter or someone that does more kind of anime art style, there's still a kind of a consistency to the storytelling, widescreen, cinematic kind of scope.
Oh yeah!
Wow. Dude, some of these will be some great tattoos, bro.
Jump off the page.
Get the whole back.
Get the whole back, dude. It'll be sick.
Wow.
So yeah, we have a whole process. You know, so yeah, we have amazing cosplayers around the world cosplaying as Niobe, and of course, there's one of our homages to also Waso DUSU. That's of course an Outcast homage, you know.
Oh god, I love, dude. I love your hip hop covers are sick.
I think I just realized I duplicated the one on the right. Apologies.
No, that's fine. You're fine. All good. All good. And there you go. There's a bit of a spread of some of the. We also an MF Doom one as well. Obviously, you got the DUSU, DMX, and the Tribe and Biggie. A lot, and the TLC is another obvious one.
Right.
And you guys recognize the one in the corner, the bottom left corner.
I think I saw. Yes, of course. Oh wait, no, it's Tribe.
The Tribe, yeah, Tribe. No, I'm saying about the bottom left. The one with the butterfly.
That's Daylight, isn't it? Is that Daylight?
No, it's the one that a lot of people stumps a lot of folks.
Yeah, I'm
the one next to Lauryn Hill one. So think of who was the other queen of the 90s soul movement.
Brandy?
No.
In the same vein as Lauren.
Oh, the same vein as Lauren? Jesus.
Erica?
Yes.
Erica. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
yes. Wow. Okay, now I see it.
the live album. Where she had Tyrone, Tyrone
yes. Now I see it. Holy shit!
And we did that because Dura has butterfly wings as well. In the comics, I was like, oh, that's a great homage. Kind of give you here's a couple of little fun images from inside the comic.
Nice.
And the quality in the paperback is great as well, bro. Oh my god, that's off, man.
Thank you. And we had 3 different covers like that. Basically, I had 3 different covers where essentially I wanted Dura to be kind of braiding Niobe's hair. You have 3 different collector covers honoring essentially Black women as caretakers of the world and having the burden of the world on their shoulders, and then passing that responsibility and legacy onto their younger. Right. And it was really important to me to just present that on a cover, just so somebody could have essentially an emotional relationship with the characters. Right. Super important. Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you. Give me the 3 albums, if you could ever listen to any 3 albums for the rest of your life. Give me your 3, and then you can just put on repeat.
Okay, Alice Coltrane's Journey and Satchidananda.
Oh, fucking great. Okay, I love that song.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind. All right, when I was a kid, I had a tape that I just wore to the ground. It was the Otis Redding story. I was a huge Otis Redding fanatic as a teenager.
Wow, as a teenager, you were listening to Otis Redding?
Dude, I was just
wow. You were deep into it.
I used to read poetry to the girls at school in the assembly hall, and just the principal just kicked me out of the assembly hall. like an idiot.
Player.
But let me tell you something. Girls of that age were not ready to receive poetry. They were like, all right.
Okay.
So I was a little crazy. So that springs to mind. Maybe the first thing. Whoa, that's so difficult because I went to John Coltrane and to Bob Marley, but I've been on the De La kick so much.
Okay.
That's
tough, bro.
Yes. I just wanted to guess, since you were in the music industry and you obviously it comes out in your artwork and it comes out in your books. I wanted to see, okay, where are you going? And you're a fellow old head, so you know what I mean. So I want to get the spectrum where you at.
You know, it's another one that I love. That so when I do this teaching shit, I basically put up 6 albums of inspiration. And one of them I put up is Aaron Copland's The Billy the Kid Suite, which you remember He Got Game, the Spike Lee. You remember the intro and when it's like that haunting sound of America and all the kids playing basketball.
Yes.
That shit. Aaron Copland. If you want to, Spike used Aaron Copland in He Got Game all throughout the movie as this grand suite. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to listen to this now.
Yeah, I'm a Miles guy. I can put Kind of Blue on and just let it play forever, bro.
Kind of Blue. It did pop into my brain too.
I just love. I got hooked on that album in college, and I never let it go.
Yeah,
I just loved it.
It's crazy. I mean, you got Coltrane and Cannibal Adderley on that shit too. And if you want to listen to a track, just segue a track to Miles's pianist Bill Evans. If you want to just be the most chill and calm any kind of anxiety you have down, listen to Peace by Bill Evans.
Peace.
Making a note of it right now.
Exactly.
It's just hauntingly beautiful. And another one I listen to when I want to just chill is Calcutta Blues by Dave Brubeck, who's kind of famous for his Take 5. But Calcutta Blues is...
Calcutta Blues is like... how could I compare it? You can't really compare it with nothing. Because it's more like baseline.
Yes, it's very baseline-y.
Very, very, very baseline-y. Because this is the stuff that my father would just drill in my head and just play all. Like I tell you, my father used to be a musician, so he would just sit there with record after record after record after record, and I was the record changer in the house. So go put on Miles Davis. Go put on Anita James. Go put on Baker. Go put on this.
Yeah, man. My first I used to be a bit of a dancer back in my youth, So that was my shit. It's funny. So funny full circle thing. So I'm just gonna do a bit of name dropping because it's goofy. So there's our Tribe album cover, right? And there's Viola who did the forward, Mayim Bialik on the random. So she's a hardcore D&D fanatic. There's Issa, Garcelle, creator of Black Heroes Matter, Uraeus, Greg Burn, Tuskegee Airs crew, Brandon East. There's a few folks that you might recognize.
Wow.
And that's Prentice Penny, who is the showrunner of Insecure. And he and I are writing a new show and comic called Jason Wise, which is Uraeus' creation. So Uraeus and I are writing Jason Wise. It's his creation.
Okay.
And Prentice and I formed a company called Payback to flow through Stranger Comics. So yeah, we got a lot of other cool shit happening. And Jason Wise's premise on a very easy, quick pitch is when a man goes into museums and steals artifacts, he returns them to their ancestral homes.
Okay.
So that makes him hero.
I'm liking it.
So we got a lot of cool shit.
I'm liking it. Oh, so you're a big. So obviously you already mentioned D&D a couple of times.
So you stole my question.
My fault. Are you excited for this new D&D movie?
It's got swords. I'll watch it. Do you play?
I've tried so many times to get into it, but I can't. I don't know what it is. It's too long. It's too.
You need a good dungeon master. So I'm having a podcast I'm dropping soon, and one of these segments in the podcast, if you got you guys want to come on, I have a segment called Dead in the Brief where I do a 7-minute game where I'll just improv role play with you and see if you can survive it.
Oh shit! Okay.
And we have an official. If you guys are any gamers out there, I don't have it right in front of me.
I'm the resident gamer of the group.
He's got he's got his actually own channel and whatnot.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
I'm not really a D&D guy, but like right now I'm really hooked on the new Hogwarts Legacy game that just came out. I'm already like 20 hours in.
Well, we have an official Niobe Paizo Pathfinder role-playing game, so people that want to role-play and with the characters, really cool. you can role-play that. But I wanted to say, Prentice and I, I don't have all the other covers in front of me, but he and I wrote this one together.
Okay.
And then so what's kind of fun is these kind of stories, I kind of get to, I don't know, go on deep dives into my own kind of philosophy, which makes it a little obnoxious, but So I'll just read you something else to kind of get you a flavor. If you want to read Niobe Dura, it's a great intro single comic. So Niobe's on the run. They're on the run from this being Vastar, this demon that's come to chase them down. And the mother figure says to Niobe, "Remember, she tribe, do not trust the word because it is written. Our trees have died to hold man's lies. It's up to you to speak our truth."
Wow.
So basically, I'm playing with the idea that just because potentially books are written doesn't necessarily make them true. To play on the oral tradition of essentially, the Black oral tradition is hip hop, jazz, spells of culture or rituals being passed down, which shouldn't necessarily be bandied about on social media. This is the truth. This is the truth, and all this other shit is potentially distraction and noise.
And to get all the I love the fact that you're dropping actually real knowledge in your book. Yeah. It's
trying a little bit.
No, you're not trying. You're hitting all marks right there, brother. And I'm liking the truth, the gems that you're putting in your book. That actually you gave me two. So he gave me the first one today. You gave me a good freaking record to listen to, and you gave me that quote. And now this is another quote that I'm picking up that book tonight. That is getting important.
I appreciate it because I tell you, it's funny. The coming back to Chase's like early question is like the beginning, and the beginning is really and the journey is still not easy. It's incredibly difficult. You write in a vacuum. And you're competing with algorithms just to get your voice out. Like if I'm at a convention, I can talk my shit and someone will listen, and it's fair game. But on social media, it's how do you market your brands? Do you play on emotion? Do you play on the trend? Are you able to maintain your own sense of who you are as a person?
Right.
And so I'm very thankful just to be on your guys' show and be able to chat for a bit.
Well, listen,
we appreciate you for coming.
Now, man. Like I said, we this platform is for people like yourself who are doing great things in this industry, and we just want to further the word, get people out, and let them know that all this great product is out there for them. Sometimes we just, like I said, we just don't know that it's out there, or we'll pass a book like Untamed and see it, but we won't research further. Well, what is that? What's going on in there? Who wrote it? So we just, this platform is just meant to kind of help us bridge the gap between us and the audiences, and kind of tip, they just came out with a whole article talking about how TikTok's algorithm isn't the only thing pushing these videos, that there's actually a private team that has the authority to push certain videos if they deem it worthy. So you can't win for losing with this thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of this technology is just another tool. You have to learn how to use the tool, and use it to the best of your ability. Because as much as they tell you it's the algorithm and whatnot, it's never just that. We understand it because there's money involved and different things. So
100%.
So, anything else? Are you going to be any place, anytime soon for people to catch up with you?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, tune in every Thursday. I used to do Instagram Live. I still do Instagram Live. You can listen to me talk a lot of shit on Instagram Live every Thursday at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, and also on YouTube at the same time. So now I'm like trying to be all meta, and I got 2 channels like an idiot. But yeah, so go to Stranger Comics, any social media, Thursday, don't miss it. Every week I give away free shit, share stories, convention stories, real stories, sharing sneak peek opportunities. Sometimes we have super crazy guests on. We have an incredible Stranger family. We have a small following, but it's absurdly dedicated and loyal. They're beautiful people, and And then convention-wise, I'm going to be at Emerald City Comic Con. Then I'll be over to WonderCon in Anaheim. I'm not sure yet. The middle kind of spring kind of time. It might be like Phoenix or Detroit, Motor City. We'll definitely be back at San Diego Comic Con. We have a booth there. We'll be at New York Comic Con, of course. LA Comic Con at the end. We might try and do Baltimore. I love doing Baltimore Con.
Everybody's been saying that lately, that Baltimore has been coming up and everybody's loving it.
Yeah, it's a great con. It's a comic con, you know. And just I love going to Baltimore. It just feels tangible. The tangible. You know.
Okay.
And
how about you guys? Where are you guys going to be at?
We're
Hey, Ron, you want to hit him with the spiel?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Where
our schedule? You know, our regular schedule. Where can they find
schedule? Yeah, I mean, every Thursday we do our podcast 8 p.m. here on YouTube, and obviously that's on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. No, I forget. Twitter.
So you're on Thursday too, bro. So you guys are on Thursday too. You guys are at 8:00 Pacific. Eastern. I mean Eastern, right? So I'm on 9:00. So after you guys are done, you can hop on over to our live.
There you go. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to mention for everybody, I'll leave links for all the social media and the website, Stranger Comics, all that down in the description. This way, if you want to go drop them a follow, check it out. Buy some books. These books are worth the read. I promise you. I can tell just by looking.
Quality. Yeah. Yes. Definitely catch them and whatnot.
Catch them at a con. Get it signed.
Get it signed.
Yes, get it signed.
Oh, and grab some merch. Go check the website. It's got some dope merch up there. You know what I'm saying? Get some of that. Look.
God. Can't go wrong, with these books, man. I'm loving these books.
Like we tell everybody, our door's always open. Anytime you want to promote something, you want to come and talk, you can stop by anytime. You don't need no invitation. This is what we're here for. My man Sebastian A. Jones, Niobe, Stranger Comics. Make sure you go cop those books. Go cop those books, man. Listen, thanks once again for coming. Don't forget to check us out Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and all the other stuff that Aaron will name later.
Then go check out Sebastian right after our podcast.
Right after that,
if you want, hit me up on the Facebook. I'll figure out a nice discount bundle for you. If you're interested in like the books, just come over. I got you covered. You guys, are we? I know Chase and we're buddies on Facebook. Are we buddies? Ron and
I'll add you.
Yeah, everything's getting added.
Everybody's added. There's actually 2 or 3 other guys that are not here, so you're gonna
have like about 6. We gotta have a total of 6 people.
Chase, if you want, do a one of those what they call group chats on Facebook, and then
absolutely.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. I really sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you once again for coming through. All right, hey,
we appreciate y'all.
Hey, Ron, play our theme music, bro.
Peace.